everyone, welcome back to Philo Treat, where we are exploring the depths of philosophy and connecting it to personal growth. Our today's topic is existentialism. So, first of all, let me ask you, what does it mean to exist? So, whenever we do talk about existentialism, there comes the idea of existence, finding out the meaning, and about the human condition. So in this video, we are going to look for the same concepts. Let us start further with understanding existentialism. Again, what does it mean to exist? Let us start with the definition of existentialism. So existentialism is a philosophical movement. This focuses on individual existence and it gives importance to personal choice and freedom. Now, individual existence. So, whenever a person is making a responsibility for its own life by finding out the meaning, then it reflects the individual existence. Now, the freedom and the choice. So, freedom and choice are a kind of individual's responsibility. So whenever we talk about existentialism, the central concept is, of course, the freedom of individual to make choices. Now whenever there is a freedom to make choices, then there is a responsibility. Now how does the responsibility comes? It comes with the awareness and acceptance. So whenever there is an awareness and acceptance, a person act authentically and make conscious decisions. So whenever a person is making a conscious decisions, then there is a challenge for the societal norms and the constraints of the society, and this encourages individual to pursue the path of existence. Coming towards a historical context, so it all started with the 19th century movement where philosophers like Soren Kirkegaard, Friedrich Nietzsche introduced this concept of individual experience and existential angst. Now, coming towards the mid-20th century, this philosophy became more popular with rising up of philosophers like Jean-Paul Sartre, Albert Camus and Simone de Beauvoir. Now, when we come about the theme of existentialism, it is about dread, then alienation, absurdity, and the quest for meaning of life. So what about the historical influence? Is this idea of existentialism has been taken from the other philosophies? Then of course, it is taken from the ancient philosophies and religion, and it has drawn its ideas from figures like Socrates, Plato, Tillich, etc. Soren Kirkegaard. Now Soren Kirkegaard, first thing, is a father of existentialism. Second thing, he has focused on individual choice, and third thing, he has focused on subjective experiences, and fourth, he has promoted personal relationship with faith. Second is Friedrich Nietzsche. First thing about him is he has declared that God is dead. Second thing, he challenged conventional morality. Third thing, he introduced the concept of Übermensch. And fourth thing, he promoted individualism and self-creation. Next philosopher is Paul Tillich. So first thing about him is he has integrated existential philosophy with theology. Second thing, he explored the nature of faith. Third thing, he explored the human condition in the context of modernity. And fourth thing, he has tried to understand the existential anxiety. Next philosopher is Martin Heidegger. So first thing about Heidegger is he has explored the concept of being. Second thing, he has explored the concept of human existence. Third, he has explored authenticity. Fourth, he has given importance of confronting one's own morality. Next philosopher of existentialism is Simone de Beauvoir. The first thing about her is that she is a feminist existentialist, and second thing is she explored the themes like freedom and oppression. Third thing, her major work is the second sex, which talks about oppression and freedom. Next philosopher is Albert Camus. First thing about Camus is he has explored the idea of absurd. Second thing is he says and he argues that life has no meaning. And third thing he says that individual must create their own meaning of life. And fourth thing he said that it is possible by the act of rebel. So being rebellion is what Albert Camus has declared. Next philosopher is Jean-Paul Sartre. First thing about Sartre is that he has said existence precedes essence. That means he is giving importance to existence. Second thing he said is there is an importance of individual freedom. Third thing he talks about responsibility. And fourth thing he talks about individual search for authenticity in this irrational universe. Let us understand existence. So the key aspects of existence. First is reason. So whenever there is a capacity for logical thought and reflection, then only an individual is allowed to make sense of their existence, and therefore reason is very important. Second thing is awareness. So with the reason there should be conscious recognition of oneself and the surrounding environment, and that helps us in forming the identity and experiences. Third thing is interaction. So we should have engagement with others, which is going to develop our relationships and it is going to build a sense of community and belongingness. Fourth thing is understanding. So one should understand one's nature, purpose and role in the context of life and society. So you see, all this thing is interconnected. When you have a reason, then you have an awareness. Once you have an awareness, then you have an interaction. Once you have an interaction, then you have an understanding. Now let us see existentialism's view on existence. So first is individual existence. So existence is very unique to each individual. And it also talks about human experience. Then existence also involves exploration of the meaning. Let us go again. So this involves continuous exploration of the meaning of being, and with this our relationship to the world increases and our choices and commitment also become stronger. With this we define our life, we define the humanity and we fix our identity. Now let us see types of existentialism. Now there are godly existentialists, then there are ungodly existentialists. Now what is this godly existentialist? So there are philosophers like Kierkegaard and Tillich, so about whom we have already discussed earlier. So this philosopher talked about recognizing God's existence and the resulting alienation. So they have given importance to personal commitment to choices. Now godly existence, that means they have given recognition to God's existence, and they have also talked about the alienation theory, that means a loss of humanity because of separation. Now there is a responsibility in choices. So this godly existentialist also focus that individual must take responsibility for their decisions, and they should also have a reflection on their relationship with God. Second is ungodly existentialist. So philosophers like Sartre and Camus are on this side, and they rejected the notion of divine being, and they said that individuals must create their own meaning and values. So how the meaning is created? Meaning is created by defining and shaping the existence, and that is free from the divine influence. So this meaning is also created by individual responsibility. So responsibility is about finding the meaning and making our life valuable. Major theme in existentialism. First is about individual existence, that we have already discussed, that it is about experiences, subjective interpretation. Second thing is about freedom and choice. So freedom in making choice, and that only gives meaning to our life. Third thing is about absurdity. So whenever we try to find meaning in the life, there is a world that is also always standing in front of us and not really helping us to grow as a way we want to grow. In this situation, there is a concept of absurdity, and we must try to come out of the absurdity and find out the meaning of the life. Now, type of existentialist we have already covered, so let us move towards next one. Now, existentialists believe, like I earlier said, that existence precedes essence is by the concept it is of Sartre, and why this concept is important. So, existentialists believe asserts that individual creates their essence, and how they are creating their essence through their experiences and their choices, and they are focusing on personal responsibility. So whenever they are focusing on experiences and choices, then they're enjoying the freedom, and this freedom is shaping their identities and values, and that are creating the unique life experiences. So whenever they are creating the unique life experiences, this is challenging the traditional views, and it is defining the existence. Now, the absurd. Absurdism, as I explored earlier, that it suggests that human existence lacks inherent meaning, and it also talks about the chaotic nature of the universe. So whenever there is a chaotic nature of the universe, there is a kind of conflict with this irrational aspect, and this conflict leads to struggle. So whenever there is a struggle, there comes the individual's responsibility to create the meaning to their own life, and which will shape their lives through practical choices. So whenever a person try to create their own life and try to give the meaning to their life, so there will be a lot of contradictions, and there would be a lot of tension between seeking meaning and the absurd nature of reality. But still, these philosophers like Albert Camus suggest that we should look forward to absurdism, because it helps us to define the meaning or give the meaning to our life. Now, alienation. Alienation is also one of the major concepts. Alienation suggests that we have got separated from three aspects of our life: from ourselves, from the society, and third, from the object. So this kind of alienation we should avoid, and this alienation is a result of this modern technology and abstraction that has created a separation uh, from ourselves and the lived experiences. So we should again try to make the lived experiences, and that is what alienation talks about. So philosophers who has dealt with this philosophy, they have guided us that we should reconnect with the authentic selves, and we should try to develop relationship with the others. Now, the role of fear and greed. So, I mentioned earlier about the Kierkegaard, who has talked about greed as a fundamental feeling of apprehension regarding the act of commitment. So, whenever there is a commitment, there is a fear inside us that we will be able to finish this deadline or not. Whenever there is a such kind of a fear, then there is an anxiety. So anxiety is a kind of emerges from the recognition of total freedom. So whenever there is an anxiety, there is also the responsibility that we have to make through the means of our choices. And this kind of thing is also called as nothingness. So philosopher like Kierkegaard says that whenever there is a feeling of nothingness, then it is actually good, because it is helping us in personal growth. It is challenging us to conquer our fear, and it is also challenging us uh, to get out of the normals or maybe the norms of the society, and discover our true self in the process. So this is a very important idea regarding the nothingness. So I talked about greed also, and the anxiety and freedom also. Now with nothingness, there is also a concept that is most important, and that is death. So there should be awareness of death, that death could come at any time, and therefore there is a recognition of morality where it encourages us deep reflection of the essence of existence and the nature of personal freedom. So nothingness is a very important. It allows individuals to explore the true human potential and the creative capacities. So whenever there is a exploration of creative capacities, then we are kind of avoiding the near death, because we are energizing our individuality and we are living in an authentic way. So that is what we should have. We should have awareness of death, and we should have a right existentialist perspective. Now let us see the centrality of choice in existence. So first of all, we should define freedom. Freedom is fundamental to human existence. It empowers us, an individual, to make choices. These choices can define our identities, and these choices can shape our lives. Second thing is existential perspective. So existentialists, what they are doing, they are trying to refuse the daily scenarios or the conditions which looks irrational. So existentialists assert that even the fact of refusing to make a choice is a choice. So when you are not trying to come out of the bad environment, the toxic life, then of course you are making the choice there itself that you are not choosing the right one. So the refusing to make a choice is also the choice, and that we should understand and we should take responsibility to make the right choices. So whenever there is a burden of responsibility that accompanies freedom, it can lead to existential anguish as individuals confront the impact of their decisions on their lives. So whenever there is a greater responsibility to us, there is a difficulties, there is anxiety, there is a state of anguish, but still it is all empowering us towards the self-development. Now we have almost reached to the end. So what we have got from this presentation, first of all, we talked about the nature of existence, that what it really means to exist, and we also talked about individuality, the individual existence. Then we talked about the individual experience and how we have to derive meaning to our life, how we have to get the purpose in the life, then how we have to confront the existential issues, how we have to confront the fear. Then whenever we are confronting the fear, we should also take the accountability for the choices that we are going to make to come out of the fear. And when we are doing so, we are living an authentic life, we are embracing the world with all the uncertainties, and we are towards the genuine approach to life. So this was about the theory of existentialism. Now let us ask ourselves, what does it really means to exist? So I hope you will think on this question, and I appreciate that you are here engaged with us and learning about existentialism. So I invite you to share your thoughts, questions or reflections about this today's discussions, and let us know in the comment boxes or through emails, so that we can have a better understanding and an advanced understanding of this theory.